There comes a point in every life when the silence becomes louder than the excuses. It is the moment when you look at your dreams, your goals, your unfinished plans, and realize that the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is not talent, not money, not luck, and not even other people. It is the decision to begin. Most people spend their lives waiting for confidence, waiting for support, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for the fear to disappear, waiting for a sign that tells them they are finally prepared for the life they say they want. But time does not wait with them. The clock keeps moving. It moves when you are inspired, and it moves when you are afraid. It moves when you are building, and it moves when you are hiding. It moves while you make promises to yourself, and it moves while you break them. The truth is simple, and it is uncomfortable. The clock does not care how ready you are. It does not stop because you feel insecure. It does not slow down because your plans are not perfect. It does not pause because you are scared of being judged. It does not ask whether your confidence is high enough, whether your skills are strong enough, or whether your circumstances are fair enough. It keeps ticking. And every tick is a reminder that your life is happening now. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Not someday. Now. So many people have brilliant ideas buried under hesitation. They imagine a better future, but they never build it. They see a stronger version of themselves, but they never become it. They talk about goals with passion, but their actions remain trapped in comfort. Comfort feels safe. It feels warm. It feels familiar. It tells you to stay where things are predictable. It tells you to avoid risk. It tells you to wait until you know more, until you feel stronger, until you feel certain. But comfort has destroyed more dreams than failure ever could. Failure teaches. Failure builds. Failure sharpens. Comfort delays. That is why so many people reach the end of a year and wonder why nothing changed. They blame circumstances, they blame timing, they blame other people. But deep inside, they know the truth. They waited. And while they waited, someone else started. Someone younger, someone less experienced, someone with fewer resources, someone with more fear but less hesitation. That person was not more gifted. That person simply moved. Action creates what thinking alone never can. Action creates lessons. Action creates momentum. Action creates confidence. Action creates identity. The people you admire did not begin because they felt ready. They began because they understood something powerful. Readiness is not found before action. Readiness is created through action. Every athlete, every entrepreneur, every artist, every leader, every creator, every person who built something meaningful once stood in uncertainty. They doubted themselves. They questioned their abilities. They worried about failure. They feared rejection. They imagined embarrassment, but they moved anyway. That decision changed everything. Your life will always ask for courage before it gives you clarity. That is how growth works. You step forward before you feel prepared. You speak before your voice feels strong. You try before your skills feel polished. You begin before your mind gives you permission. Because if you wait for certainty, you may wait forever. Fear does not disappear when you avoid it. Fear grows. Doubt does not fade when you obey it. Doubt becomes habit, and habits quietly shape destiny. Look at your life honestly. How many opportunities passed because you delayed one conversation? How many ideas remained unfinished because you kept editing instead of publishing? How many goals stayed dreams because you chose entertainment over discipline? How many versions of yourself were left behind because comfort felt easier than transformation? These questions matter because they reveal where your future is being stolen. not by other people, not by bad luck, by hesitation. The hardest truth is that your future is built in ordinary moments. It is built in mornings when nobody is watching. It is built in evenings when motivation is low. It is built in moments when distraction feels easier than discipline. That is where character is formed, not on stages, not in applause, in private choices, in repetition, in consistency, in commitment. You do not need a perfect plan. You need movement. You do not need permission. You need ownership. You do not need more inspiration. You need honesty. Honesty about what you say you want. Honesty about what your daily actions actually prove. Because goals do not change lives. Systems do. Dreams do not change lives. Discipline does. Potential does not change lives. Execution does. And execution always begins with one uncomfortable step. One phone call. One workout. One application. One video. One conversation. One risk. One decision. That is how transformation begins, not with a miracle, with movement. The clock is moving right now. As you think, as you plan, as you wonder whether this is your moment. And maybe it is. Maybe this is the day you stop negotiating with your excuses. Maybe this is the day you stop calling fear preparation. Maybe this is the day you stop waiting for motivation and start building discipline. Maybe this is the day you finally understand that the world does not reward intentions. It rewards execution. A year from now, time will still pass. The seasons will still change. Other people will still keep moving toward their goals. Opportunities will still appear. Challenges will still come. Fear will still exist. But who you become during that time is your responsibility. You can spend another year preparing, or you can spend another year becoming. The clock does not care how ready you are, but your future will care whether you started. Most people misunderstand discipline. They think discipline is intensity. They think it is waking up inspired, attacking goals with endless energy, and feeling powerful every single day. But real discipline is quieter than that. Real discipline looks ordinary. It looks like showing up when nobody notices. It looks like practicing when progress feels invisible. It looks like repeating simple actions long after excitement fades. That is why discipline beats motivation. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is dependable. If you truly want to change your life, stop asking whether the path feels easy. Ask whether the path is making you stronger. Stop asking whether people believe in you. Ask whether you believe enough to continue. Stop measuring your progress against people who started at different times with different experiences and different struggles.